My name is Kevin, and I'm 26 years old, and I live a minimal lifestyle. How I would define a minimalistic lifestyle is only living with the essential things that you absolutely need to survive. Since I've been really open about my new lifestyle, it's really inspired a lot of people. I thought I'd receive a lot of judgment, but it's more curiosity than judgment. I feel like it's very important for me to share this part of my life with people to inspire them and to start thinking differently about how they choose to live their lives. I live in a Chevy Astro van. It's 2001, and it's a cargo van. And my philosophy for living in a van is to be stealth, to be super low key. So this is my van. It's pretty simple. I live a really simple life, so I don't really need much. Living in a van is like a never-ending project, and which is a good thing for me, at least. And once you start living in it, you start configuring things differently. So I'm in the middle of extending my countertop all the way, and this is temporary right now, but it's a never-ending project. But yeah, I have a refrigerator. I have my propane stove. I also have a microwave, and I have an inverter here for my batteries, which everything is connected that needs electricity to my inverter. I have some power outlets for like my phone for charging and stuff, and I have batteries underneath here, which I'll get to in a little bit. And for more storage, I took out this panel, the store panel, and I just have like a pan and cutting boards and soap and stuff like that, and like my curtains that cover my window when I need to go to sleep and privacy and stuff. And I have more storage underneath my bed, like blankets and a chair and my yoga mat and stuff I don't really need every day. And like for clothes that I need every day and like my sweaters and my jackets, I have behind my bed. And this bed was actually made to fold out, so it extends for a full bed. It's a futon from IKEA. But after doing it a few times, I came to realize that I'm far more comfortable just leaving it in couch mode and just sleeping like this. When it comes to electricity and Wi-Fi, I have what I call a solar system. So I have solar panels on top of my vehicle that are connected to batteries that are connected to an inverter. So I don't really have an issue in that department. I'm able to charge my phone, I'm able to use a microwave, I'm able to charge my laptop and such. So one of the really cool aspects of my van build is these solar panels. I have 4 of them on my roof, and they're 100 each, and they're attached to my inverter, which power pretty much everything in my van, like my refrigerator and my microwave and electrical outlets and also my LED lights. When it comes to Wi-Fi, I usually just use my phone and I tether it to my laptop. It's about $40 a month, and I get service pretty much everywhere I go. But before I have a trip, I check like the Wi-Fi map and like signal map. So if I'm in the middle of nowhere, I always try to make sure to have service. But for the most part, I don't really need it. If anything, I'll just like download like a few shows or movies before I head out to a place that I know it doesn't have any service. When it comes to mail, I have a P.O. box, and it's less than $100 a year, so it's like $10 a month, and it's like no issue at all. And if I ever need a residential address, I use my family's address, and it's never been an issue. But for the most part, I try to be as honest as possible. And there's always like an other option when it comes to housing situation. I work in the film industry, and I find myself leaving the city when there's no work. And I was living in an apartment beforehand, and what inspired me to start living this lifestyle is my best friend. He's been doing it about 3 years before I started, and I kind of had like some of an epiphany when my lease was up. I did the math, and I was spending more than 50% of my income on housing alone, and I just couldn't justify that anymore. If I break down my monthly expenses, it goes a little like this. So I spend about $200 a month on gas. That's including driving throughout the city and also my little adventures outside of the city. I spend about $40 on my phone, which includes tethering and Wi-Fi and such. I spend about $27 a month on my gym membership, but I paid for a 2-year membership from Costco, so that's taken care of. I spend about, I want to say, 150 in food, maybe at max, because I work in television and um, they take care of our lunch and our dinners and such, so I don't have to worry about food as much. I spend about $90 in car insurance. I spend $100 on health insurance, and I spend about, I want to say, like $100 on like festival fees and like payment plans. So a lot of my main focus has been like paying for my experiences, like my adventures and my festival stuff and situations like that. So roughly my monthly expenses are $600. But if I really, really wanted to, I can cut out like fun stuff like festivals and stuff. But my whole philosophy is being able to enjoy myself and enjoying my youth and exploring this beautiful country of ours. The number one question I get from people that are interested in my van lifestyle, my minimalist lifestyle, is where do you shower? Where do you go to the restroom? And for the most part, I let them answer that. I ask them the same question. And it's like, well, where would you go to the restroom and where would you shower? And sometimes they're stuck and sometimes they get it. I shower at the gym, 24-hour fitness, and there's some throughout the entire country mostly, except for some states, but then you just adjust. I shower at 24-hour fitness, and I work out there, and I use the sauna and the hot tub, and I utilize my resources to the max, really. A really important aspect of living in my van has been my pee funnel. And I know that's kind of like hard to talk about, but it's something that's really essential that we all do. It's super, super simple. It's just like plastic tubing with a funnel and like some wiring to keep it up here. So whenever I need it, I just take it down and I use it, and it drains by the tire. So it looks like the van is just like leaking or whatever. But it's super simple, but it's very, very essential when you're living this lifestyle. And for number two, you go outside of the van. Being based in Los Angeles, you face a lot of obstacles like parking. When I choose my overnight parking spot, I always make sure to find a quiet residential street that doesn't have any overnight restriction parkings. But for the most part, whenever I can, like on a weekend, I get out of the city and I sleep in the middle of nowhere, like in between trees or in the middle of the desert in public lands or like at a campground. I, for the most part, started to see this after adjusting to this lifestyle as somewhat of an inspirational thing for people in every generation. And it's a silent revolution that's happening, and people are sharing their stories on YouTube, and there's all kinds of people from walks of life. There's little ladies with their cats traveling this country. There's young guys that have a really sick like van build, and there's all kinds of people that come together in the middle of nowhere to share their story and to share their van builds and how they live this nomadic lifestyle. At first, that might seem a little crazy, but I'm free. I'm truly free. I'm not tied down to anything in particular. So I hope my story can inspire others and maybe start thinking differently about how you live your life. And actually start taking advantage of your time on planet Earth. Start exploring this beautiful planet that we live on.